Canada, I am thinking of you, and I am hoping that all of you see your greatness reflected in this journey.
This is Jeremy. We are going for all humanity.
Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis 2. Let's go.
3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon.
From inside the Orion capsule, nicknamed Integrity. First words that all's good in Earth's orbit.
Welcome on board the Integrity spacecraft.
Currently, the crew is more than 100,000 miles from the Earth.
You can see the entire globe from pole to pole. You can see Africa, Europe. If you looked really close, you could see the northern lights.
I really like it up here. I wish I could have got here sooner.
Artemis 2 is entering the moon's gravitational sphere of influence as it prepares for its most ambitious feat yet, to travel around the far side of the moon on Monday.
As we prepare to go out of radio communication, we're still to feel your love from Earth. And to all of you, we love you from the moon.
Houston, Integrity, comm check.
Integrity, we have you loud and clear.
We had to take a moment to honor that time, going behind the moon and out of touch with Earth, and that was a very surreal moment for this crew.
That's when the crew made an emotional request to name a new crater spotted on the moon after a part of their astronaut family no longer with them.
We lost a loved one. Her name was Carol, the spouse of Reed, the mother of Katie and Ellie. And we would like to call it Carol.
On board Orion, there were tears and hugs.
Integrity, this is the International Space Station. How do you hear?
I spoke to your Prime Minister and many other friends I have in Canada. They are so proud of you.
Getting from Mission Control, Houston.
A lot of Canadians just want one point of reassurance that the preference is for maple syrup over Nutella on your pancakes in the morning.
Absolutely, sir.
We still have to ensure that Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy return home safely on Friday evening, so we're pretty focused on that.
So we are in good shape here for entry and splashdown as Artemis enters the Earth's atmosphere.
Your trajectory is nominal, and your recovery teams have visual.
Integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Copy splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time. You can hear it. Jubilation here in the flight control room.
These 4 astronauts who just made history as the first crew to return to the moon since 1972.
That was great. That was great. That was great. Hey, Doc, we're honored to have you on. So, folks, this is the second time that we have Dr. Wu on the phone. He is a NASA scientist. He's the only scientist I know, especially a NASA scientist, being down from the southwest side of Chicago. And it's incredible to have you on. It's good timing to have you back on and hear a little bit of some of the highlights that you might be able to share with us. A little bit about your background, then I'll let you share more about it, especially about what you do for NASA at the Kennedy Space Center. So you serve as a crewed spacecraft subsystem manager, focusing on areas such as structures or subsystems for crewed vehicles. He's been described in various sources as a physicist, aerospace technologist, and a scientist at the center. Education is from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Wow, you don't have a Wisconsin accent. He's held work-related contributions accrued documented NASA Technical Reports Server (NTRS) publications from the 2010s involving technical presentations or research shared at forums like the Orlando Math Circle. He's also a member of the organization, including the American Physical Society, American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, American Society of Mechanical Engineers. Also serves as a subject matter expert in NASA's Digital Learning Network, DNL, and founded the NASA KSC Physics Research Forum. And he's also the founder of the Universal Particle Muon theory of everything. So that means he knows everything. So if you have questions of anything about everything, you got to send them to us while we have Doctor on the show. Thank you very much. And so it's got to be it's exciting for America. It's exciting for NASA. It's got to be exciting for you. And we're very honored to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you so much, Terry and Mike, for having me again. It's my honor to discuss about this kind of extraordinary work, the Artemis mission, and I'm so inspired by this event, galvanized, American patriotism.
Mm-hmm.
Very rare thing nowadays.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right. We need that. We need that.
Yes.
And
that's something we were discussing just before the show, is how this used to be kind of a unifying factor for not just America, but all of the world. When you look at the accomplishment going from 1903, first manned flight from the Wright brothers, who are from here, my hometown of Dayton, Ohio, and going just to 1969 to landing a man on the moon. 66 years from manned flight to putting a person on the moon. That's such a remarkable achievement, and you're a huge part of that, and reigniting that right now. This returning to the moon. It's something that we've been talking about for a long time, and this is the first step in that process. This is huge, and again, I think this is going to be a unifying factor. People they do care about this again. They're paying attention. I think when we stepped away from the shuttle program, that was a big mistake. I know it was costly and all that, but this gives people something to aspire to dream about, and to dream to achieve. So I want to say,
yeah, I think too. I think, Doc, too, it's exciting young kids, young generations, right, to get into NASA physics. My son Anthony. Doc's going to be kind enough. We're going to do a little tour when he goes down to University of Central Florida. I talked to him before the show. He's like, yeah, Dad, you think I, could become an astronaut? I said, you got to join the military and be a pilot and all this other stuff, but you can do anything you want. It's got kids just dreaming and thinking about it, because it hasn't been in front and center as it has since I was a little kid. And this is just a great opportunity for everybody.
Yes, for me, this, the Apollo success program is the ultimate achievement, monumental achievement of 20th century. I even to now, I could not believe even Mars rover. We have some.
Yeah, right.
I still don't think anything can compare with Apollo's success. Yeah. I hope it goes through today, so people will have less doubt about what is
the other craziness going on, and focus on something good for once.
That's something positive.
Yes, yeah. So it seemed like to us that it was pretty much flawless, with the little exceptions of the toilet. But I mean, in general, was it generally considered flawless, or were there things behind the scenes that we don't know, or you maybe can't tell us? But I mean, in general, to us, it looked pretty darn flawless.
For me, we are focused on the most crucial point. That's a launch success. That's some key, and I believe we can tell about the weather is perfect, so clear. There's no clouds whatsoever. I was supporting the Artemis launch, and I brought a guest actually from Chicago. Okay.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. So a filmmaker. I don't know if you know her. That's a Camellia.
No.
Oh yeah. So she's a filmmaker. So flight in the morning, and then I send her back. Actually, because we have a successful launch, so in the afternoon, the fly in the morning traffic is okay, but when I drove her back, normally like 45 minutes driving, take 4 hours.
Wow,
so
wow, it's a lot.
Estimated over 500,000 people in the area completely surrounded the KSC, including KSC. I was supporting launch team, brought over 500 vehicles.
Wow. So could you explain a little bit to the audience, what is your role, the role within NASA and the program and the mission and stuff, so they could get a little grasp if they can understand it?
Sure. My name, Weiping Yu. I have a PhD in engineering physics, and my current role is NASA crewed spacecraft subsystem manager. So like Boeing Starliner and SpaceX, and those.
Oh, it's cool. Yeah.
Those transported astronauts into and from ISS, International Space Station. And for this huge event, of course, every engineer, every scientist, we try to make it successful. And unbelievably, after launch, the friends we have not talked about over decades. The text. Oh.
Yeah. Did you guys go out drinking afterwards?
No.
I'm kidding.
When we
I'm
come
just
to
joking.
airport, so yes.
Yeah.
I wish we could, but
Yeah, I was joking, Doc. That's a joke. I knew that.
Yeah,
I knew you weren't.
Because leave center, we about to leave about 7:30 or something. We wait a little bit. After lunch, right? 6:35, and we wait a little bit, and then when we get to the airport, it's about 11 or almost midnight.
And a part of a mission like this, what is the most dangerous parts? Is it the launch and the landing? Like, what's the most dangerous parts for the astronauts of this entire mission, to and from?
I consider the most important is launch.
Yeah.
Clear the tower because we do not want to have any contact with tower. So clear tower is the most important one. And after clear tower, actually Johnson Space Center, they are taking control. So Kennedy Space Center control entire launch event, right? Once the clear tower goes to started called ascent, and so then Johnson Space Center take over, started with all the mission. You mentioned about what is the critical. So when is after clear tower, so now we need to make sure the vehicle still follow the designed trajectory, is that right? Yes. You have to follow that one. If you miss, especially from here to moon, you do not have almost no second chance. So we have to. If you can show my slides, I will show. So how we after launch we have to do translunar. Yeah, next page, please. Yep. Okay, so these are the heroes. In my mind, it's my own heroes, because I was trying to, during that live interview with television, I was trying to find out, if they have a shredded evidence of thinking about the consequences,
And
I can tell they are so disciplined.
Yes, I can imagine.
Fantastic. They does not show any hesitant second thoughts. They try to put their hands into consider NASA as a crew, consider engineer as a part of the crew. So we have our goal. We're all towards the mission success, and everybody have this spirit. I know I could not do it. My psychologically, I can.
Oh yeah, it's got to be scary. Yeah.
And surprisingly, from the prediction to landing, so successful. If you can go to a next page, I will discuss a little bit. This is this overview. This mission is a flyby mission with astronaut on, without the landing human step on the moon. So yeah, you can go to next page. And this is a 10-day mission. So this is basically, I personally interested in the predictions. Before launch, we have a theoretical based on the trajectory, orbital mechanics, or whatever, we made the predictions. And I wanted to compare what is the reality happens. You can tell. So before the launch, prediction a landing site. And so from the center to actual landings, we predicted is between 20 kilometer to 50 kilometer range, but the actual landing is only from the center of prediction to the landing only 10 miles.
So you're basically got to be within a 10-mile. This
is amazing. And the timing.
Yeah.
Before launch, it predicted around the landing window is by 8 p.m. I'm talking about the Eastern time. Actual landing is 8:07. However, if you listen to real-time broadcasting, never off a bit, right? Because we have a real-time communication, computer real-time technology, right?
Yeah.
So they correct the trajectories, everything, and end up at 8:07. That's what hours before even landing. So they because
that's incredible.
Because now we have technology can real-time communicate. Right?
Yes, yeah. Have you guys has AI been implemented yet in these types of missions yet, or is this done without AI? I'm just curious. Artificial intelligence.
I believe right now we still rely on, technical part. Still rely on prior experience. Actually, many of them from Apollo Air. But I will show you later on. So which part of why we so successful? We cannot do this one first time. Use a new trajectory and with the pinpoint accuracy, right? Without the prior experience. So yes, if you can show next slide. Yes, if you look at the starting point, the number one, right on top of the Earth, number one. So that's Florida, Florida. So that's have launch vehicles. And what happens after we started? We have to, if you look at the moon's orbit, so we try to correct our trajectory to until aligned with the moon orbit, which is 5 degrees. 5 degrees, difference between Earth or orbit of the sun, the Earth, so like a ecliptic orbit.
Yeah.
So which is right on the southern hemisphere. So that's why we turned around and towards the southern hemisphere and aim until aligned with the moon trajectory, like 5 degrees, a little bit that one, and then we started called the orbiter called it was a translunar deorbiter burn. So then at that time, so then we can follow this whole plane. So it's less correction in vertical direction.
So it's so I understand. Just so when it's going around the Earth in elliptical fashion that you have there, right? You got to find the right exit point for it to start launching towards the moon to launch it at the. Right, it's like being on one of those little circle swing things. You want to jump off at the right time. You want to get, you're trying to do that with the spacecraft and time it when, right?
You cannot miscalculate.
Yeah, right. Because if you jump off a little too late, you miss the moon. If you go too, on the other side, if you jump off too soon, you go on this side of the moon, right?
That's what a rocket scientist's job to do, right? We have to pinpoint the perfect.
Yeah.
So this time add a little extra safety measure. So we did not the orbit go to the moon orbit the first time we touched that. We still orbited the Earth around, just try to make sure every system working perfectly, right? You mentioned about the toilet, little problem, right? We try to resolve it, and up is a false alarm or something. So that's why try to make sure everything's clear, and then with the orbiter. So at the number 9, you look at it after the circle, number 9, and then they go to. And another thing about this time, this trajectory is perfectly, is the safest trajectory. Is called based on the free return. Basically, just like you threw a frisbee, you threw out Earth, throughout that one, and you were expecting the frisbee coming back without the additional propulsion system.
Yes, wow, that's how important it is then, because it needs that, right, to get the power to.
So that's why, because for the safety of the astronaut, just in case anything happens to the system, right, it can goes out and fly back without the power by itself.
Yes, it's crazy, right? And so as it launches off the elliptical around the Earth, right, and then you send it to the moon, it gets close to the gravity of the moon to stay close enough to whip it around without power to get it back, right? Am I saying it right? Kind of.
Moon has you have to calculate the trajectory. Moon's gravity exactly catching that moment, right?
Yes.
Going back. So for me, doing this one engineering, analysis calculation, I think this is extraordinary.
Yeah. Yeah.
With pinpoint accuracy. And if you go to other next flight, I wanted to make sure. So why we choosing this free return trajectory? Yeah. I'm sorry. So I compare Artemis 1 versus Artemis 2. So Artemis 2, we only 10 days. So because we have astronaut on board, right? We don't want to labor too many staff, for them, or long duration. But for Artemis 1, we actually take 25 days. So I hope you can see that, right? 25 days. So we are not just say free return. We wanted to make sure all the propulsion system and the amount of power, right, able to make it sustain that long. So we have some kind of called retrograde orbit around the moon. So we
does the risk increase? So, for instance, Artemis 1, it goes around the moon a number of different times, right? Yes. And then with 2, it only goes once. So, is the complexities and the risk with 1 greater because of the multiple times of going around? Yeah. Okay. That's okay.
Because it require consuming, called just use the thrust burning to control the. You're consuming thrust consuming energy, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why anytime you're burning in space, 3-dimensional space, right?
Yeah.
So you have the precision to for the attitude or the orientation. So it's I believe a lot of complex than this one. But I think NASA made a good decision. The first time after 50 years orbited the moon, fly by the moon, we use the safest one. Build confidence. I hope that demonstrates.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible.
So, if you can go to next one slides, I would say yes. So I'm compare. So why this successful is not too surprise for NASA is because we did similar trajectory in Apollo 8. Are you able to see Apollo 8 trajectory?
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yep. Yes. Sir.
Okay. The difference is so we use basically the same trajectory. However, we are not calling Apollo's trajectory called free return. Free return because it is not based on calculation, say Earth's gravity and the Moon's gravity. They catch in one round. Mm-hmm. So for that one, for Apollo 8, because that's the prior to Apollo 11 landing human on the moon. So we are actually shooting direct for lower lunar orbit. The closest distance only 69 miles.
Wow.
It's very close. But this time, Artemis, the closest distance is 4,700 miles.
Wow, really? Wow.
And another surprising, when I look through comparison, Apollo 8, that's Moon's flyby mission, Moon's mission, right? We orbited the Moon. To only take 10 days, 6 days. 6 days, 3 hours, and 42 minutes.
Huh.
Each way is only 2.5 days. Oh my goodness. Wow. I was a little bit, of course, I came to United States way after Apollo Air, right? Yes. So I do not have a direct interface. But when I compare this time we use 4.5 days instead of 3 days. 3 days vacation, I can drive to Miami, right? Just a whole week, weekend, So I was shocked to say it's really so close. Can you believe it? The moon really so close. That's
Yeah.
the dream I know for many generations. Our people all around the world. I still shocked, but extraordinary achievement. And
Oh yes, you guys, all of you has got to be proud to be part of something like that, huh?
Yeah, and it's an amazing accomplishment. And I got a question for you here, real quick. So how much faster was the travel? Like, was the capsule moving at 1.5 times the speed to get there in 3 days as opposed to 4.5? Or did it have anything to do with the trajectory? Well, I guess the distance would have been the same. So yeah, I guess they had to have been traveling significantly faster.
Actually, the most of the faster days time is because we are aiming directly to the lower moon's orbit. Instead, this time we try to safest way. So that's called, I call the free return orbit. It's a longer, much longer path. Yeah, if you just compare 4,700 miles, that's for this time, versus that's 69 miles around the moon. So you said that the faster, we do have a more powerful propeller. You're right. But right now, we are most focused on the safety as an issue, right? So we have to make sure the minimum correction. So this time, all the thrust burns is very, very minimum correction course. This is because technology is better. Communication is better. We can correct any deviations. It's much quicker. So that's why resulting actual landing, compared with the prior calculation, before launch calculation, is only minutes away. So it's extraordinary.
That's amazing too, considering the total distance traveled and everything that could go wrong, and to make it to be able to be so precise that you return within 7 minutes of the projected time, within less than 10 miles of the projected location. I mean, it is an unbelievable
crazy
feat.
It is.
I hope it's not so. Yes, I hope people do not take it as a granted. Yeah. So it's extraordinary work behind.
So what kind of physics do you apply to resolve? Like, say if an astronaut has gas in the ship, how do you fix it? It's a joke, Doc. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm sorry. I'm just goofing around. It's a joke. I'm sorry. Let's get back to the serious stuff.
Yes. If you can look at the next page, okay. So this page. So I add a new page after this one. I was trying to compare why travel to the moon, compare with travel to the Mars.
Yes.
To the moon, we only have less than a quarter million miles. Like 230,000 miles, 240,000 miles. Right? But in travel to the Mars, so let me see if I can find that page. So people. If you guys can see my background page.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah, let me pull it up. Here we go.
Yes.
All right.
If you look at the moon, 238,000 miles, right?
Yeah.
We just had roughly 2.5, 250 miles.
Yes.
However, go to the Mars, 34 million miles.
Oh my God, it's a big difference there.
So, Elon Musk wanted to go to Mars before secure the moon. I thought a little bit, too ambitious.
Yeah, right.
So, I'm happy, Elon suddenly realized build a data center using robotics on moon is much, much realistic than send a human to Mars.
Yes,
right now.
And he even mentioned he doubted the first tier pioneer human went to Mars and coming back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how long will that take them to get to Mars compared to
right now? So I would say 2 to 3 years.
Oh my God!
This is not the flying time. The flying time could be a 6 to 9 months.
6 to 8 months. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 to 8 months. However, the problem is when you get to Mars, when we try to shooting for Mars, shooting the time Earth and Mars the closest distance.
Yes.
But when you after like a 6 to 9 months, Mars and the Earth are exactly opposite outside of the Sun. There's no way, no amount of material you can catch that one. So we have to wait the next round, right? When they are very close, and then the orbit.
Oh my God, that's got to be a scary mission for an astronaut. Holy shit! Jeez, that's got to be scary.
Yeah, it's because of how the orbits are synchronized. Yeah, we might be able to get there in 6 to 8, maybe 9 months. I mean, I read Dr. Robert Zubrin's book, Mars Direct, a while ago. I wrote a big paper on it in college, actually. And that's sort of what Elon Musk is doing, kind of a modified plan of Zubrin's Mars Direct program. But as you said, Doctor, we may be able to get them there in 6 to 8 months, but we would have to have equipment loads there beforehand. They'd have to have a place to stay. They need housing. They need food, oxygen, everything else that we would have to send in 1 to 2 trips before we even sent a human crew. And then, as you said, to get a quick return home, it may be up to a 3.2-year gap before we could send them back from Mars to Earth. And you have to account for all that. Just packing all the water, oxygen, food, and everything else into a rocket to get it there, it's going to be absolutely massive. They would probably have to orbit the vehicle to travel, like orbit it on the moon or orbit it around Earth, probably the moon, launch it from there towards Mars. You don't have to aim where Mars is now. You got to aim where it's going to be in 6 to 8 months to get there. So you're not even shooting for a regular target. It's like trying to hit a bullet with another bullet, while you're spinning around on a merry-go-round.
Yes. Now I remember the last time I feels like Mike is like a rocket scientist or engineer.
No.
He knows exactly the key point, right? He just you cannot carry that much food, water, and stay human in
and
small
fuel.
volume. Oh my goodness! Yes, that's exactly the key. So that's why, in my opinion, even though Mars take that long, we should be able to landing human on Mars, probably in my lifetime. But that's probably the ultimate place human being can go. If you look at the next one, Jupiter, it's not a 34 million. It's 390 million miles.
Wow.
It's going to take a decade.
Wow. Yeah, I never thought.
So I think I think this is important. Number one. So we colonize the moon and landing first U.S. astronaut on the Mars. That's the first ever human being, right? On a planet. So moon we consider that as a satellite, right? So
I guess if we can't do a little colonization on the moon, forget about Mars. I mean, if we can't, right?
I do agree with you. That's my my wish in my lifetime. We can tourists travel to the Mars.
Oh my gosh, that'd be incredible.
Week,
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
Well, I mean, that's
was
part of what makes.
We don't. Go ahead, Mike.
Sorry, Terry.
Go ahead, buddy. No, I would say it. That was like took 50 years for us to go back to. It's kind of concerning. It took so long. It's like so. It's concern. We have to try to get to Mars and do a little colonization there, if we think we're going to be successful. If we can't go to the moon and colonize it, we can't. How are we going to go to Mars? Right.
Yeah, and that's kind of what makes this mission so important, because this isn't just about returning to the moon. It's about establishing a base there, because we're going to need to take what we learn, putting a base on the moon, and then apply that to going to Mars. Because some techniques, some ideas, they may work great in theory in a lab when you're writing it down on a paper or doing a simulation. But then once we try, these things may or may not work, may or not be successful. And when human lives are on the line, it's got to be perfect. Because, I mean, can you imagine what the repercussions would be if we did attempt a manned mission to Mars and we were to have it fail? That would be horrible loss of human life, horrible loss of money, and it would serve as a deterrent for to even try again. People would lose the heart, lose their sense of adventure, this element of the human spirit that we've got to recapture again here.
That's why we should send some illegal Venezuelans from the Trindle prison gang there.
You do not
Sorry,
have
Doc.
to. They're gonna sabotage. But at that moment, probably the whole universe is united again, right?
Yes, hopefully, right?
We are working on the same goal. So
Right.
That would be interesting. See how we can ignore the political or ethnic divide, right? Everybody working together. So I hope these are the most important points. The rest of them just photos you may not interested. Yeah. So any questions?
Go ahead, Mike. Because I keep jumping in here on you.
Oh, no, you're fine. I don't have any at the moment, but I also wanted to save some time because I know you wanted to go through a few other things. I also wanted to discuss your unified theory of everything, U theory.
Yes.
Any updates there?
Right. So yeah. So if that's the case, you can go to my what is called the mysteries, unlocking the mysteries of the universe. That slides show. So yeah, I will mention about it. The theory fundamentally is the same. You know, the stability of the theory. Yes. So I wanted to emphasize called the 3 keys to unlock the mystery of the universe. You only need 3 things. Okay. So I'm gonna refresh something we discussed last time, and this is related to understanding universe. Oh wow! I love that dog.
She came here by daddy. She came downstairs in the basement.
Yes, it is really relief all the pressures. You know. Okay, so to me, why we are so difficult for college student get a physics degree, you know, or even science degree in general, like a chemistry, biology. This is foundational. Why is it so difficult? Actually, we have a problem with the fundamental understanding of the universe. So I would say, if you understand these 3 points, you should be able to figure out all the mysteries in physics or in natural world. So I want to emphasize the first one, talk about the monochromatic particle. So let me define monochromatic particle. I list all the particles, actually all the particles in the described by standard model of particle physics. Say electron is a negative charged particle. So since it's a single charged particle, I call the monocharged particle. So because it's single charge, right?
Yeah.
In the same sense, so positron or proton, they are also carry single unit of positive charge. And I call them is also part of a monocharge, just single charge. And if you look at the description, I put a stamp there. All these particles described by quantum mechanics cannot, it is said it does not exist. And I want to emphasize it does not exist. It cannot exist. I will explain to you after the slide. And the second point. So if you understand that all the quantum particles cannot even exist, how can we have a so-called quantum mechanics model, right? I hope Mike, this is part of your question. Does you have anything new? I usually hesitate to say something very directly, but now, to be honest, based on all the research, all the comments, peers review or whatever, I can firmly to say none of the quantum mechanics particles, electron, positron, proton, even neutron cannot exist. I will demonstrate after this page.
Okay.
The second thing is about photon. We always believe, so this is so elusive about the light. We always see light. We feel direct intuition is light is a particle flying from light source to our eyes. So that's called a photon particle of light. Is assuming every light carried by a particle traveling. And the conclusion in this theory say this photon particle cannot exist, does not exist. So what the light is actually is a wave motion. I will explain later. And then the final point, the first 2 points, I try to discredit anything we taught in physics or in general science books. So, electron, we take an electron, a proton, made atoms. None of them true. So I will show you what they are true later on. And then, so if a photon does not exist, so this is called a force carrying particle does not exist. And also mass carrying particle, electron, proton, these cannot exist. So people would ask, so what particle the world can really exist? Only one particle, I call the universal fundamental particle, is just magnetic dipole, so magnets.
Yeah. Oh, we lost him. All right, let's give him a second, see if he can. All right, you're back. We lost you for a second.
Okay, if you can turn next page, and I'm gonna do demonstration. I hope everybody can follow me. Okay, I try to demonstrate why electron as a single charge, the negative charge particle cannot exist. So I'm using this page to demonstrate, assuming this particle is an electron, and so what happens if we subdivide it, hypothetically subdivide it as a 2 half?
Yes.
And so I try to say, assuming electron exists, and I try to use logic to demonstrate the contradictions. So now, just for the demonstration purpose, so if originally a single charged electron, hypothetically divided by 2 subparts.
Yes.
So my questions for Mike, if you don't mind, you are the younger one, right? So
Yes.
I hope Mike, I hope Terry is okay with that one, right?
I'm okay. That's good. That's good. I like that.
What kind of charge? This partially charged, so this fragment of electron can carry. What's the logical way to carry? Originally, is a negative charge. Now we split half. The most logical way,
would be a dipole, like a magnet, that part of it is positive, part of it's negative.
You decode, you demystified you give me the results. I try to say, you play around, say, assuming the most logical way is to get a 2 half a negative charge. Yeah. And you already know the result, so I'm not. So, however, now the question is, if the whole things one negative charge, you get 2 parts and have 2 negative charge, can you recombine them to form original particle? You cannot, because you would violate like charge repel, right?
Yes.
Like charge, that's fundamental law of Coulomb's law. Like charge repel, opposite charge can attract. So what that means? That means electron or protons, positive charge, if you hypothetically divide them, you cannot recombine them. If you recombine, violated fundamental law of physics.
Yes.
It implies this particle cannot exist. I hope that makes sense to you, Mike. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes sense, because it can't violate the fundamental laws of physics. We know what the theories currently, they don't add up based on what else, everything else we know. Whereas what you're stating here makes a lot more sense, and this also explains, the struggle between particle physics and Newtonian physics, and why they can't unify the theories. It's because there's been a flaw the whole time.
Yes. Wow. Thank you. Your explanation much easier to understand to the audience. Can you go through the next page? So
yes. So yeah. Now, 1 second.
Okay. So we just discussed about a so-called positive charged particle. Protons or positrons cannot exist either, because if you subdivide them hypothetically, you cannot recombine them.
Yeah.
So that's the way. If you look at the word on the right side, called violates Coulomb's law, like charge repel. Yes, thank you for point. The middle one, So negative charge particle, the electrons, or even what is that? A quarks. Quarks has a partial charge, either positive or negative, right?
Yeah.
Included. You subdivide it, you cannot recombine. Now, the last one, neutral particle. I said neutrons or neutrons, neutrinos, or so. Can this particle exist?
No.
So the question number one: can we subdivide them? Yes, we can. You're right, because they do not carry charge, right? So neutral particle does not carry charge and does not carry magnetic force, magnetic field. So that's what we call the neutral particle. Okay, so does the neutral particle violate called subdivision? No. Actually, if we subdivide the neutral particle, we can have two neutral particles, right? Now,
yeah, but
we recombine them, Mike.
No, because then there's no force. There's no there's no force to recombine them. Whereas the other particles, which also wouldn't recombine because they would now repel each other. But yeah, so with the neutron, there would be no force to bind them together.
Brilliant. Okay, I hope all the audience get this one, because we lack of binding force.
Yes.
People say, can gravity binding them? Mike, what's your counter argument?
Well, I don't really have a good counter argument, but I would say no, that gravity could not bind them back together, not on that scale, not on the atomic scale.
You actually answered, because the scale. Gravity force is 10 to the 36th power, it's exponent power. So that means 0.35 zeros and then 1. So gravity force compared with combined force, electric force or magnetic force, gravity is 0, because 35 zeros behind.
Yes.
So that's why you can never put 2 grains of sand to one particle. They do not have the binding force. Gravity too weak.
Yeah.
Okay, you got all the points. So now the only last point I needed to make. I hope the time. So I hope the timing's still good. Okay, so people can ask.
Fine.
So now say, what kind of force, what kind of particle can exist? I said, if we have both positron or electron, they both cannot exist. What can exist? This is just Mike just mentioned. The only way you can have a particle exist is that you can subdivide them. So can you subdivide a magnet? Of course you can.
Yes.
The reason when you subdivide the magnets, you get the smaller magnets. Okay, now the key comes. Can you recombine magnets?
Yes.
Infinitely recombinable. None of the particles in the world, I hope, Terry, you got this one right. None of the particles in the described in the standard model of physics, particle physics, can recombine them. You can subdivide them, but you cannot recombine. If you can recombine them, violate the fundamental law of like charge repel, or without the binding force, like a gravity. So
yes.
Magnets is the only particle you can infinitely divide and infinitely recombine. So if you get this one, so now whenever people talking about the electron, and whenever they talking about the electric charge, you know they are not understand the fundamental physics. Okay, I will save this question for Mike. This is a tough one. Okay, you see, on theory, summarize a conclusion is everything made only by one single particle. That's a magnetic particle.
Yes.
So now, so you understand them, no problem. You already. Now I ask you a concept I did not address, but implied in this one. Say, what about the electric charge? Where does the electric charge go?
I don't know. Not in this new theory. So, well, I imagine it's still within the same particle.
Okay. So Micah, you already got 99.9% the theory. So I just want to add one thing. So that's why universe is so simple. The so-called electric charge are magnetic poles. Anytime we say that we have a charge, you use what is a rubber balloon.
Yeah.
You can attract them, right?
Yeah.
What is the charge? When you rubber a balloon, so all the particles on the surface of a balloon is just like a magnetic particle. Okay, yeah, your hands almost. So what happens if you rub them?
You're aligning all in the same way, so the observable force becomes greater, so you can see it. That's why you can hold it up to your hair. Your hair will go towards it, or.
That's right. Originally, they are neutralized by two magnets, opposite, say positive and opposite. So that becomes neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you rub them, you dislodge them.
Yes.
So now you have a magnetic charge as a pole. So charge is a magnetic pole. If you get this one, this is the secret of the universe. That's where I get it wrong by called Professor J.J. Thomson. That's during his called cathode ray tube testing. I believe Michael, you should know that one, cathode ray tube, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait. I understand it now. If I put a magnet with the charge by my hair, it'll suck it out of my head, and I won't be bald anymore.
Exactly.
Now you got the idea, right? Practically, yeah. So this is what happens with a plasma ball. If you look at the plasma ball, has a coil at the center, right?
Yeah.
You see all the filament.
The charges, yeah.
Now you mentioned, was it Brown a minute ago that you mentioned? Is that the same as the same scientist that worked with the Townsend Brown effect? Are you familiar with this?
Oh yes, I'm familiar with the Thomson Brown, but the professor I will call the J.J. Thomson.
Sorry. Okay, I misheard you.
J.J. Thomson, he discovered electron, and he named the electron as a negative charged particle. That's the fatal mistake. Yes. When you name something called a negative charge, the next people win Nobel Prize. He win Nobel Prize on that one. Okay.
Sure.
The next one, when you find what is called find positron or find the neutron, so they all win Nobel Prize. And then somebody say, hey, if you have a negative positive, why the atoms looks like a neutral? So they must work together. So discover this is called what is atomic called orbital atomic model. Say, hey, we have electron orbiting the nucleus. None of them true. The true. Do I have that one? Yeah. The true atoms. Oh my goodness. Sorry about it. I may not be able to get this one out.
That's right.
So true atoms, just like this magnetic balls.
Yeah.
There's no moving parts inside of it.
Yeah, they're just locked together by the charge, by the force, the electrical magnetic force.
Yes, I did not put it in your chart, because if you look at the real image of atom structure, they all lattice shape, like have a spacing between them. They are stationary, nothing in motion. So now people ask me, if there's no free electrons, what about the electricity? Does the electricity? We said the electricity is a flow of electrons, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I find is nothing flows in the solid wire. What happens is every particles in the wire are magnetic particles. They are oscillating, vibrating. Vibrating create called wave motion.
Yes.
So electricity is never like a particle flows from one end solid to another one at the near the speed of light. That's something inconceivable even during my middle school year. So, Mike, I hope that makes sense to you, right?
Yeah, that makes sense to me, and it explains why. Because I think most people think of electricity, especially as flowing almost like water through a hose, when in reality that isn't what's actually happening. that it said it is the vibrations, the motion of the energy transferring through the molecules, and then we capture that, and then we use it to run our devices and everything else. But there is no actual flow of energy.
That's right. Not the particle flow. It's a wave motion, right? Vibration, propagation. Yes. So that's why called alternating electricity. So that's where I pass. Hey, you said okay, flow of electrons, so a direct current, that's okay. Alternating electricity, you changing polarity 120 times per second because US is 60 hertz. How can you move this one and that one, right? So now wave motion will make sense. It's oscillating, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Without the actual physical movement. Terry, you have any?
Yeah, I got a question. So under like this theory, right? That it's evolving and understanding. What can you give examples maybe of what would the practical applications of once understanding this theory and applying it to bettering our lives or doing anything for that matter for a layman to understand? Like what can we learn from this and apply this to something?
Oh, that's a good questions. Oh my goodness, I do not have the slides there. I have, the best way is explain chemistry. So I have an image. I don't think I can get that image. Say, do we have time? Oh, mine is almost there. So I'm not gonna. So we have the best image I can find on the internet is we have a molecules. Looks like this one.
Mm-hmm.
No, like this way. Okay, so I can see the molecules every way you look, they have 5 sides.
Yeah.
And one here's that one. So that one I said, hey, can we? I'm sorry, did I miss it? Okay, yeah, sure.
No, we're here.
You're okay.
Yeah, we can see.
Oh, I back. So then I said, can I simulate that one? So I made five of them, and then put them together.
Mm-hmm.
So now let me explain the 2 configurations. So I have 5 sides and 1 extra here.
Yes.
And this side and the side when I made them.
Mm-hmm.
One way is made them exactly on the tip of the both ends. So this is an unstable structure.
Yeah, it has an easy break
what
point.
What if I rotate and the contact in between them? That's the stable structure, and that match exactly the best image of the molecules ever I can find exactly match. So to answer Terry's question, what kind of application? It demonstrates all the chemical structures, properties, atomic mass is made by different number of same particles. I call the ion particles, and with a different configuration. So that's why different configuration give you a different structure. You have a different called the Young's
strength, more like maybe stronger, more durable. Is it okay? All right.
And for diamond, so that's a triangular shape. So that's why. So this is not as stable as a diamond. Diamond, you have a three sides and 1 on top. This is triangular shape, a tetrahedral shape, giving the most stable structure. So that's why diamond is transparent, right? Yeah. However, it's the most the hardest material, natural material works. I hope this give you the applications of why this theory can help you, can resolve all. I checked all the chemistry principles are wrong. They all try to relate it to quantum mechanics principle.
Yes.
Quantum principle, all stretch to quantum mechanics with the electrons orbiting, how the orbiting is, how sheer electron, and electron supposed in motion, right? How chemical in chemistry, I found that which is different than physics. I came from physics class, everything in motion. In chemistry, everything fixed, the direct fixed the direction, fixed the angle. I hope that makes sense to you.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes it easier to understand chemical bonding, and it opens up paths for us to better develop new materials. It really opens doorways for material science. But I imagine, too, as people dig into this more and get a better understanding, too, it's going to help us better understand physics in general and lead to, new things we haven't even thought of yet.
That's the best ending.
Yes. Yeah.
Terry.
Yes. Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that too. It's because, like, Anthony, my son was doing research on you, right? And then there's some naysayers, right? I said, listen, Anthony, it's like anything else. If somebody comes up with something different outside the box and it goes against the flow, you always has. It doesn't matter if you're a physicist, a salesman, or no matter what, or a new business or a new evolution of something. That's always standard. So don't take any of what you hear as law. You got to understand and learn, because we're evolving all the time. And if it's something is not in the norm, sometimes people push back, right?
Yeah, I hope Anthony gonna be attend UCF. It's very
yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
We have a lot of engineer directly from UCF graduates. So because it's a local.
I'm excited. I hope when he gets the little tour, it's going to ignite, because he really likes physics too, believe it or not. And he's a very outgoing young man. He got accepted into Argonne Labs here. Between junior year.
That's a very difficult place to apply.
You don't pay for it. It's down the block. We live maybe a mile from Argonne, and it was people from all over the country. And he got accepted into the. He worked with some other data scientists and stuff. And I hope you trigger a little excitement on that tour. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yes, I hope. I know my son would never watch my video. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I hope your son is different than my son, and only need to watch the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's not going to watch my video. He's going to watch you. He's not going to watch me. Thank you very much. I think people can see and appreciate the passion, and because of people like you, we're able to go to the moon and hopefully Mars, and hopefully discover other things. And people like you, you dedicate your life to doing this, and we appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I initially tried to understand myself, and now, and after discovering this, I thought maybe there's some value to share with everybody else, right?
Yes.
Thank you. I hope your 20,000 live audience will watch see that.
Thank you very much, Doc.
Well, yeah. Thank you
Go ahead,
for
Mike.
being here. We really appreciate you and everything you're doing, everything at NASA. Again, we're going to keep in touch, make sure we have you back on here again. To our audience, thank you for being here and joining us tonight. Please like, share, and subscribe. Help us to bring more people the news the mainstream media doesn't want you to hear. And we'll be back next